Hi everyone, it is now storm day, and it's Storm Center here at CENTER Maine. I've got my sweater. It's pink too, and I don't know that I've worn my pink sweater yet this season, but I figured it's spring. We just had Easter, and April used to be my favorite month until this one because of these storms, but I've got my birthday coming up, my wife's birthday, my mother-in-law's birthday, the Masters tournament, baseball, March Madness. What else? Anything else, Julie? Anything else good in April? What else happens in April?
Daffodils, tulips.
There we go. Julie, if you didn't know, is the Gardening with Guttner producer. So she's kind of the brains behind. Thanks for the wave, Jules. She's like the brains behind Gardening with Guttner. So she's big into gardening. I just fake it. No, just kidding. I mean, I kind of do, but.
He knows more than he.
Yeah, I know more than I actually want to put into practice. How's that? I'm just too lazy to do more gardening. So anyway, I'm wearing the pink sweater. Sadly, unfortunately, this storm is working out kind of the way we thought it would. It's heavy, wet snow. It ramps up as you go inland. There's big gusts of wind along the coastline. And unfortunately, my fear of another massive power outage event is coming to fruition. At last check, there was about 210,000 outages, which someone's telling some jokes out there. I don't know if you heard that laugh through the microphone, which I think might be more than what we had in the ice storm a week ago. So really, I feel bad for the power crews and that are just working nonstop here in the state. This winter's been awful. I mean, there must be 6 to 10 storms with big outage numbers. So there it is, and it looks like there are some holes in the radar, which may not be accurate. There still probably is some low-level precipitation falling, but you can see that there are some heavier bands in here, and these darker shades of blue. In those bands, the capability of like 2 inches per hour, especially if it's away from the coast, because along the coast, the temperatures are still marginal. And we talked about this leading up to the storm. Cape Elizabeth 33, it's just kind of slushy out there, especially near like Two Lights, Kettle Cove, Shore Road, that's over by the headlight in Cape. There's just some slush out there. But as you get into Portland, it's 32. You cross over the bridge, and you've got 4 to 6 inches of heavy, wet slop everywhere. Saco's 32, Kittery Point's 33, New Harbor's 33, Rockland going back and forth between 32, 33, 34. It kind of depends on intensity of precipitation too. When we get into some heavy bands and it's coming down real hard, that's able to bring cold from aloft down to the surface, and your temp's going to drop a little bit. It accumulates faster. But then when it lets up, when that band goes by and you're getting lighter snow to fall, then the temperature is able to rise a little bit, and it's not accumulating as well. So it's going to kind of go back and forth, especially near the coast. But inland, Lewiston's 30, Naples 30, Freiburg just went out. I mean, everyone's losing power, so we probably lost the sensor there. Livermore's 30. Let's go up the coast, see what temps look like. Here we go. Bar Harbor, Cherryfield, 31, 31. Vinyl Haven's 34, though. Eastport has dropped. They were 35 just 2 hours ago, now 32. Again, that band going through, they might jump up a little bit. Now they're going to get into a little dry slot. Bangor 31, Old Town 29, 30, Plymouth 28, Waterville 29, Dover Fox. I mean, this is all accumulating really efficiently. And in many spots, we're like 6 to 12 already. And in some, it's over a foot, especially in the western Maine mountains. The winds have been a problem. When I came in, Portland was gusting to 52 miles per hour. That's the highest that I've seen at the Jetport. But I saw Rangeley at about 6:30 had a gust of 61. So you've got a couple of things here contributing to power outages. First, the heavy, wet snow. Even without wind, 4 to 6 inches of heavy, wet snow is enough to get those pines, the white pines especially, those limbs start drooping. And then they just snap, they crack. It's soft wood, they can't handle it. Even the hardwoods like the oaks and the maples, maple's a little softer, but the oaks, even those are vulnerable with 4 to 6 inches of heavy, wet snow. So there's that alone. And then you've got wind. Along the immediate coast, there are some outages, but not as many as a little bit inland. Like Cape Elizabeth, I noticed, only has about 150 power outages as of this time. It might go up. but Wyndham has like thousands, like 3,000 to 5,000 outages. And it's not, and it has to do with the combo of the wind and the snow. Like Wyndham has 4 inches of wet snow, which probably alone wouldn't be enough to crack a limb. But you add a little wind to that, boom, it goes. Now in Cape Elizabeth, there's no snow on limbs, but the wind is stronger. You'll get a few, but we've had so many power outage storms recently. Most of the trees are okay with winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. Once we start accumulating some snow, that might change a little bit. If we get a stronger gust, that might change a little bit. So that's kind of how it's all playing out as far as power outages go. Timeline, heavy snow all morning. Really no change middle of the day. I will say this, now that the sun is out, even though we're not seeing it, the energy from it, some of it gets through the cloud cover. It's higher in the sky, it's got a little more oomph. And it will help keep down the efficiency of accumulation. And it will help some of the roads, especially near the coastline, stay more slushy or blacktoppy and not completely snow covered, as will be the case over the interior. So I think now that we're in daylight, especially along the coast, it's just not going to accumulate as well as it did prior to sun up. And then this is 5 o'clock and it's the same old thing. Now after the evening hours and overnight tonight, it will still snow, but the storm itself is going to start to weaken out here in the Gulf of Maine. And as it weakens, it won't be able to produce as intense precipitation as it is right now. And therefore, it's not going to draw down the cold that's thousands of feet in the air to the surface. So our temps won't be able to drop below 32. And I don't think we get much more accumulation because of it, even though it snows in some places most of the night. It might only be just another inch of accumulation, and most of that would be on existing snow, or on car tops that are sitting idle, things like that. Not so much the roads. But there's your map. I'm not changing anything. I like what we have. Slushy 4 to 8 coast. You don't have to go far inland to get 8 to 12, and then 12 plus. Again, not far inland. It ramps up real quickly. And I'll show you the 7-day just because it'll make you smile. It'll make you feel better than you do right now when you look out your window. This right here, boom. 3 days of sunshine and temps in the 50s. Eclipse day looks gorgeous. This snow is going to melt like that. By the middle of next week, it's going to be gone. Even where we get 20 inches, I think it's pretty much gone by the middle of next week. So get through today. Drive safely on roads when you head out. Hopefully you don't have power out for too long. A lot of us are going to be out without power, and it could be a couple of days. But, hand it to CMP. They got everybody restored. There were 200,000 outages in the last ice storm, and they got everybody restored in 48 hours. So, maybe they'll be able to do that again with this one too. So if we can just hang in there and get through it, we'll get to the weekend and we'll get some improvements, and then next week's going to be awesome. That's it from here. I hope you have a good day, you stay safe, and you hunker down, you're in good shape. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.